it. Take this shit before, man.
Hey, you should listen. I got your email.
Live from the new kingdom, Florida. It's the Our Big Dumb Mouth Podcast. Florida. Now, here's your hosts, Midnight Mike, Joe, and Cryptid.
Robocop. Keep fucking that chicken.
Hello, everyone. Hootaloo to everyone out there. My name's Midnight Mike. Welcome back to another fun-filled podcast adventure. Hooray! Cryptid is over there on screen coming up with new catchphrases for me.
I got a lot of catchphrases.
Before the show,
some of these actually aren't bad at all.
Before the show, Cryptid was saying that he does not like "Hey Yo."
Hey Yo.
Even though it's catching on like wildfire.
I've said that many times. But I don't like "Hey Yo."
I know. You've made it pretty clear, and it's a very divisive phrase. I understand, but people in the chat are saying "Hey Yo."
Hey Yo.
People in the comments are saying "Hey Yo."
Hey Yo.
And so I just keep up. I'm just trying to keep up with what people are saying. I got to respond.
Hey Yo.
But what are some of the alternatives that I could use for
you
a
want to
catchphrase?
jump right into that?
Yeah, I want to know.
All right. These are all awesomely AI generated. The first suggestion is, the moon is buffering again.
The what? Okay, the moon is buffering again, people.
These are all to that level. We also have trust the swamp gas.
Interesting.
The FBI ate my sandwich.
These are catchphrases I'm supposed to say?
They're just as good as "Hey Yo."
"Hey Yo" is ambiguous. It can mean anything you want it to say. I mean,
all right, I'll get more ambiguous ones. These are all. There's thing about lizard people. I got stuff about psychics. I got frogs in here.
Because if something good happens, I can go "Hey Yo." If something bad happens, I go "Hey Yo." You know what I'm saying?
I don't think it's. No, you can't do that.
Well, so that's what I'm trying. I'm trying to create a cultural phrase. I'm trying to save America with a cultural phrase that people can use to express how they feel about any given event, depending on their inflection.
So you don't want so much a catchphrase as just some sort of word you can yell at various times.
Yeah, I just want a bunch of nonsense I can use in different ways.
I would just go to the Fonz's method of
maybe that is
yelling grunting noises.
Maybe that is the way that we just take what Fonz has done and redo that. So that could work too. So I don't even know where my Fonz clips is. Is that in the movie? Are my Fonz clips are in the movies?
Have you still not updated to the,
I
the
did.
new version of that has a search engine built in?
I did upgrade when I upgraded my computer, but I don't know where the search bar is. I have it, and I don't even know how to search.
Is it over on the left side where you show all the different?
Oh yeah, right there. I see it. There we go.
All the different boards.
That's awesome. Hey, thank you for that.
Type in Fonz.
Yeah, I got it. Now I got it. Here's all my Fonz clips right here.
I'll give you my scooter.
Okay.
Help me find my dog.
That's a catchphrase.
What?
I'll give you my
scooter. That is a catchphrase, isn't it? I'll give you my scooter.
That's a touch I like. That feels good.
That was another catchphrase. You can use that all the time. That's a touch I like. There it is.
Yeah, that's more of... Yeah. Okay. Well, these are all great ideas. And we're accepting suggestions. You just got to join the Discord. Go to OBDM1350 and subscribe for $1 a month, and then you could submit your catchphrase, and it might appear on the show. We'll see. We don't know. All right. Before we get to any of the news, and before we get to the other shenanigans of the show, I had quite an interesting event. Cryptid, do you live in a place where it could snow and ice over?
Yeah, we've got several.
Yeah.
Well, we've got quite a bit of snow right now, and it's actually, I think it's snowing this very second.
Yeah, I live in Ohio, for people that don't know. Pretty, central-ish Ohio, but kind of back in the country a little bit. And you'd expect, like, these country roads, Everyone's moving slow. Everyone's doing some Sunday driving. No, not on my road. And this past week, we got dumped on. We got dumped on by snow. It was just overnight, boom, 6 inches.
Big, massive dumps.
Big, massive dumps of snow. And I was going to be a hero. I was going to go out and get food for me and my wife. I was going to travel probably 45 minutes to go get food, come back. And as I'm pulling out of the driveway, I see a truck tipped over on its side. So it's bedding, or not even just bedding, but the underbelly of the car is facing me as I'm pulling out of my driveway, and it's like in a ditch. And I was like, wow, you don't see that very often. I was like, I guess someone must have hit some ice, hit some snow, and got themselves in a ditch. And I was like, well, it's not impeding any traffic. There's no more wreckage that I saw. So I was going to carry on my merry way. It's not the first time we've had accidents out here.
Wait, was there somebody in this car?
Not that I saw, but as I was looking left and looking right, so I didn't want to get into a crash, I saw someone's arm sticking out the driver's side window, because it's on its side at this point. This truck is like in a ditch on its side, and I saw a hand kind of struggling out the side of this thing, and I was like, holy crap. So I pop the car I'm in park, and I jump into action. I go into full Midnight Mike action hero mode. I look left, look right, make sure I didn't get hit, and I run over to this truck. I jump up on the side of it, and I look down into this truck, and there's a kid there. And I grab his arm, and I pull him out of this truck. I plop him down on the street, not the highway, but the street, and make sure he's okay. And then I heard some more commotion in the cab of this truck, and I hop back up on the truck, look down through the driver's side window, and there's another young man basically at the bottom, and he's struggling. He looks like a bit of a larger guy, not fat, but just kind of like a husky young man. And so I reach down, I grab his arm, and I start pulling him out. And I was like, "Come on, man! You're gonna have to use some of your muscles here to help me out." And I pull him out, get him on the side of the road. These two kids, I asked them. They turned out to be like 17 years old. No bleeding, no cuts that I saw, no concussions. They could have had concussions. I don't know. They were probably both severely in shock. They were probably going 50 miles an hour down that road. They hydroplaned. Their truck flipped up onto its side. Luckily, they were both wearing seat belts, and they didn't seem to injure themselves somehow. One of the kids was very concerned. He was like, "Oh, man, I wrecked my car. I only have one-way insurance." And I was like, "One-way insurance? Oh, so you're telling me your truck is not insured, but if you hit somebody else, you're basically insured for the person you hit, but not your truck." And he's like, "Yeah, I totaled my truck, man." And he was freaking out. And I stayed with him until the parents arrived. And it's busy out there. Everyone who's going past out there is stopping to see if we need help. Meanwhile, no sheriffs, no emergency trucks have stopped by. The kids told me, do not call anybody, okay? They told me, do not call 911, do not call anybody. So I was like, okay, all right. And then I kind of heard them talking amongst themselves. Like they really wanted to get back into this truck. And one of the kids said, no, don't worry about it. I ditched the stuff before we got into the car. So I'm assuming, Cratchit, that these two, they may have been smoking some doobies before they hopped into the truck, and then they had to ditch something. Or maybe they ditched it as soon as they got out. I don't know. But they really wanted to get back in that truck, even though they probably shouldn't, because, these trucks, when they're on their side, they can just go up in flames and explode. This is what I've learned from Hollywood movies, mostly Steven Seagal movies. These things will just explode. The parents arrive, And the father comes over to me, and he says, "Hey, do you think this thing will drive?" He's like talking to me like I'm some person in authority. Like I have any jurisdiction over what happened. Like I'm a cop or something, or I'm some automotive expert. And this car is on its side. And he's asking me if he thinks it will drive. I said, it's a bit of a gamble. I mean, we could give it a shot. We'll have to get like maybe a chain, a winch. We could get this thing down onto its wheels, and we could try turning it over. And, I'm talking about it with this guy, but I don't have a winch, and my neighbor's not around. And so they just, they talked amongst themselves, basically, the two families, and they decided that they had to call the sheriff's department in order to get a tow truck driver. Because, believe it or not, I don't know if you knew this, Gretchen, tow truck drivers typically will not tow away a car when it's on its side or a part of a wreck unless there's a police report. That's a new piece of information I did not know. Did you know that one, Gretchen?
I think it depends on the municipality and the state.
Oh, okay. All right.
And how did you just give the tow truck driver a Finsky? Because if you do that, he'll just take care of it.
No, I don't think they did. So I made sure they are both safe. And said, listen, I got to go. I got to go pick up food. I'm glad everyone is safe. And I left them. And somehow, by the time I got back, about an hour and a half later, the truck was gone. And I think everyone was okay. But people drive like hell down this road nonstop. We have probably at least one or two big wrecks a year. My neighbor pulled someone out not but 6 months ago. It is crazy. You ever have to rescue anybody, Cretchen, like that?
No, not to that extent. That story sounds suspicious, though. Did you make that up?
No, it's true. I got a picture of the car. Join the Discord. I'll show you the picture of the upside down, or not upside down, but flipped on its side. That actually happened, and it was pretty crazy.
I was waiting for Bigfoot to materialize and come out and walk through the car.
No, that is a true story. Unfortunately, just the wild times out here in Central Ohio,
right in front of your house.
Right. My house is pretty far back from the road.
Right in front of your driveway.
Right in front of my driveway. And that's very concerning when it's in front of my driveway. It means I might have to jump into action, and that's the last thing I want to do. But
That's a true story.
Yeah, it's a true story.
Did they give you a tip or anything? Did they pay you for your assistance?
No, one of the mothers said thank you they said thank you. And that was nice. That's all I care about.
Give you any of their stash that they were trying to keep from the cops?
No, I was trying to listen to see what kind of what these two kids were up to. I think one of the guys was dressed in camo. I think they were going out hunting because the snow was so bad they called off school. And I asked him, "Hey, do you guys not have school today?" He's like, "No school." But they thought took that as the opportunity, as they can just go out and run amok, raise some hell. And I think that they were going to go out hunting, smoke a big doobie and go try to bag a buck. I think that's what their plan was. But they didn't even offer to share a doobie or a buck with me. So, yeah.
All right.
Kids these days.
I would have put them back in the car and then set it on fire. That's what they get.
Yeah, well.
These kids don't sound like they're very resourceful as far as there's two of them.
Yeah.
Getting a car back on the road. When you were their age, you didn't have any vehicular nonsense that required the help of a friend or two to restore a vehicle to some sort of running condition?
Yes. In fact, I was in a vehicle that flipped on its side once. And
how many people did you wait for to come by and help you?
Zero. All four of us, we used our collective brains, which probably equaled one full brain at that point, and we pushed the car back on its wheels. And my friend Nick, he dared to turn the key, and it started up, and they took, and we drove off. So, I mean, I offered to help them, but I say, heck, I could go get a chain, but they were like, don't do anything, It's totaled. I was like, the frame looks pretty good. I'm not seeing a lot of flame. I think we can do something here. But he's like, don't do anything. My dad's coming. I was, all right. It's not my car.
Pass.
But I'm sorry about that, people. It's a little diversion. We are going to roll into some hardcore news, some hard-hitting news. We got big updates for people, and I think we're going to be answering a lot of questions. In fact, this is
I do want to
point
out to everyone listening right now. I think Streamlabs is having issues because we're getting buffering on all the video services.
Really?
Yeah, it's constant. I don't need more people in the chat telling me it's buffering. I get it. I'm aware of it. I'm watching all the streams. You can continue to post that it's buffering for you. We are on multiple services. You can try different ones. We're on Rumble, Twitch, Kick, and Twitter for video. And if you just want audio, we're on the No Agenda stream, noagenda.stream. That is live right now. If you just want audio, it's working fine. Because that's a completely different service. But something with Streamlabs is not happy, which is what the single service we use to go out to all video services. So when there's buffering on Streamlabs, it's affecting all the services. I will say Kick seems to be the one that's buffering least. Rumble seems to be pretty decent. Twitch and Twitter in particular are having issues. So if you are on one of those services, you could try a different one, or you can audio only over on the noagenda.stream. So we got 5 places you can be. I don't need to see more comments about is it buffering.
Yeah, or wait for the YouTube upload, which will happen later on today, most likely. And on my side, just for technical clarification, I am not seeing any indication that there is an outgoing issue. Like my signal, my stream seems to be pronounced and full. So I believe you're right. It is Streamlabs.
Computer's broke.
Yeah, just a little bit of splashback from your stream. Aside from that.
So sorry, people. We're doing the best we can with the technology that we got, but we don't have $5 million computers like Fox News.
We only have $500,000 computers, not $10 million ones like Fox News and people.
We don't even got that. So, but we do have some news, and hopefully things will improve here. This is going to be the show that people point to and go, yes, this is the show. This is the one that took them over the top. This is the show where people go, OBDM 1350, that's the one.
What's going on here?
Yeah, what's going on here? So I think we're going to lay it all out, and we're going to figure out what's really going on for once and for all. And we got some big news. There's been big developments, and we're going to find out right now what those developments are. Here we go. And for people paying attention, we did find that January 6th pipe bomber. Okay.
Oh, horse shit.
We found him. We got him, Cratchit.
Yeah.
And here is a headline right here. Did Trump inadvertently pardon the J6 pipe bomber?
Oh, really?
Yes, there has been some massive developments. The past few days, they tracked back this dirty pipe bomber to someplace in D.C., and it apparently was a very lanky black person, male, who
a racist white supremacist.
Yeah, and he a bit of a nerd. He looks a little nerdish, but apparently the FBI is saying this is the guy. This is the pipe bomber. It wasn't the Capitol Police officer woman that Breitbart and Blaze,
not the CIA agent.
But Blaze TV was saying it wasn't that person. It was this guy. And this comes from Alternet saying, did Trump inadvertently pardon this guy already? Yes. So CNN reports that Brian Cole Jr., the suspect arrested in the nearly 5-year investigation, it wasn't a 5-year investigation. They started investigating. They took a break for 5 years. And then only because of pressure due to the Blaze article about the Capitol Police officer, did they feel the need to wrap this up and possibly find another person?
Excuse me.
I think it was the CIA connection that was a problem.
I think that was a big problem. So after nearly...
You have a former Capitol Police officer with the who then joined the CIA, and is whether that was simply a lateral transfer or new job, whatever, or was that some sort of payoff for this? And then suddenly a week later, oh, wait, no, it was somebody else.
Yep. Yeah.
Oopsie daisy.
Well,
I don't believe this for a second.
it's very difficult to swallow. The suspect arrested in a nearly 5-year investigation into who planted 2 viable pipe bombs near the U.S. Capitol. Now, I like that they're using this term, 2 viable pipe bombs.
I also like how they claim it's a 5-year investigation when clearly it was about an afternoon's worth of work, because if you go back and read those original stories, they were right on top of this, and the comment from one of the FBI agents, we were at the house, we were doing surveillance, we were asked to or told to leave, and then that was like in January of 2021, right after this happened, and then they've dropped it since then.
Yeah, and the term viable doesn't mean that they are actually pipe bombs. I mean, I think that the demolitions phrasing is very important. And I've heard people say, well, just because they found devices doesn't mean that they were operable or that they were going to explode. So I think terminology is very important here. But we won't get into the weeds right there. But this is according to Alternet. They're saying that after the 5-year investigation, who planted 2 viable pipe bombs near the U.S. Capitol on the eve of January 6th attack, of the January 6th, 2021 attack, was a supporter of President Donald Trump and a believer in his election conspiracy theories. This is according to Alternet, and this is being run with. That theory is being run with right now on most mainstream outlets. They are reporting that this guy, Brian Cole Jr., was a Donald Trump supporter. Mm-hmm. And
that's why he put pipe bombs at both the RNC and DNC.
Correct, Gretchen. And now some critics are wondering whether his involvement in the activities related to the insurrection granted him a pardon. On January 20th, 2025, his first day of his second term, Donald Trump issued a sweeping clemency proclamation that effectively pardoned nearly all of the approximately 1,600 people charged or convicted for offenses related to January 6th. Quote, if the pipe bomber intended to aid and abet the planned Capitol riot the next day by diverting law enforcement resources and causing chaos, are his crimes related to the events that occurred at or near the United States Capitol on January 6th, such as that cannot be pardoned, mused people on X. And I think maybe that could be the reason. Like, if the lawyers are saying this, and if this guy is saying this, and if he is, quote unquote, a patsy, and depending on who's the prosecutor and who's the judge, they could wrap this up nice and neat and say, we found the guy, but because he was the Trump supporter, he is pardoned, and we have to release him. And people maybe will be like, well, blame Donald Trump. It's another way to blame Trump. I could see something so insane taking place like this.
I guess I'm not following the logic here. There's something I'm missing.
Well, this guy is claiming to be a Trump supporter, and if Trump pardoned...
No, it's like the pardoning thing.
Yeah. Well, we would have to take a look at the wording of the actual pardon.
Where's the story about did he... You've got a couple stories in here about this, but which one's the...
It's the very top one.
Oh,
the very top one. Did Trump inadvertently pardon the J6 bomber? Some people are saying, I bet he wishes that he could prove he was a part of a plot to aid the rioters rather than acting alone. This is a quote from somebody. If he could prove that, I bet he'd be home free. Maybe he can. We have no idea at this point, claims somebody. Others likewise wonder about Cole's pardon status. And I think they're going to try to make this in a huge part of the issue. As opposed, they're going to make this the issue, as opposed to why did it take the FBI 5 years? Now, the FBI is claiming that they had all the necessary data. They had all the evidence. It's just that they failed to put it together until just a few weeks ago. They had the phone records. They had the credit card receipts. They had all these different items, but they just didn't think to cross-reference. They never cross-multiplied and divided. But now that they did it, they found this guy.
Okay.
Like, because they were like at lunch or something, or
I guess they forgot to investigate just a little harder.
Or what they're saying is it took this long for them to get a patsy in place?
I think they had to find somebody who bought some stuff, but God only knows. I think they just had to find a patsy. If the Vault 7 is as pervasive as what the rumors are, and that was the leak that came out in, I think, 2017, shortly after Edward Snowden kind of blew the whistle on the PRISM technology, the PRISM program. Well, the Vault 7 stuff leaked from the CIA, and that underscored that there is technology that can basically frame anybody digitally to make it look like they have done anything that you want them to make it look like they did. So whether it's salacious sexual material or purchasing items, they basically can create signatures that look like you did that or another foreign entity did that, and it's very forensically difficult to unwind that. So they could have used something like that, or they strong-armed this guy and said, listen, you can go down for this bombing, or you can go down for something that is much more scandalous, something that involves children, because we got all the records. And so you choose. It could be something like that. But we really don't know. This is still so fresh, but I do not believe this. I do not believe that they found this guy, and they're wrapping it up and nice and neat in this fashion. It just stinks. And it stinks so bad.
Well, even if you don't say it stinks as much, it seems really like suspicious that suddenly they're able to turn this around and it's a different person, and none of this lines up.
It doesn't make a lot of sense.
If you're going to get a patsy, get a better one. Just get a guy with a bunch of Trump tattoos and a social media just full of him Make America Great Again posts and all the stuff going back years. Convince that guy to say he was the one who did it. Then you can perp walk him, get him on the news and all that, and then he'll disappear and you'll never hear from him again. But this one just seems really strange.
And it is, people are speculating that this guy, Brian Cole Jr., might be autistic. And
yeah, that's what I'm wondering. Are we back to the 6-week cycle of convincing someone who's, got, in this case, he's not great at social scenarios, so someone has been manipulating him to agree to this stuff.
Yeah, and that very well could be.
Dude, just say this. Tell him this. We'll all take care of it.
Yeah, it could be like that. Now, CNN has reported this, and we know CNN is they're hell-bent on telling the truth.
They're just straight shooters with upper management written all over.
They love to tell the truth, and this is how CNN reported this dramatic story. Let me bring this up on screen. I'll play this for everyone because it's kind of fun.
Brian Cole Jr., a 30-year-old white man from the D.C. suburbs, is charged with transporting an explosive device in interstate commerce and with malicious destruction. Brian Cole Jr., a 30-year-old white man from the D.C. suburbs, is charged with transporting an explosive device in interstate commerce and with malicious destruction.
They just flat out, boom. I just called him a white man because that's what they like to do over there. They like to...
Yeah, and even if they go back and we're issuing a retraction, for something that we said 3 days ago, it doesn't matter. This is already out there.
And this comes from Alex Jones's post. He's not buying it. Alex Jones is saying even. I'll play a little bit of what Alex is saying here, because even Alex at this point is not buying it. Even Alex, who has been kind of buddied up to some of these people, at least in the Trump administration, he's like, this is bullshit.
Oh, I thought you meant to Anderson Cooper.
No, not Anderson.
Grok, the black man with glasses in this graduation photo, left plausibly the hooded suspect right due to massively different arm and leg ratios. Exact query. What does Grok say? The man with glasses on the left has normal, even slightly short-armed proportions, fingertips, and mid-thigh. The hooded suspect on the right has exceptionally long arms, fingertips nearly to knee, even when relaxed. These are not subtle differences. They are extreme and obvious once you look at them. The difference is relative arm length is so large that it is essentially impossible for those to be the same person unless the hooded individual is deliberately extending his arms downward or wearing arm extensions, which is not the case. And have you looked at the suspect that's been pinpointed? She's weird looking and got big ass arms.
It makes absolutely no sense, Alex. I mean, it's a sprinkling of Jussie Smollett with a sprinkling of anarchy. I mean, we don't trust our institutions at this point, and I don't think they convinced us that this individual is the actual pipe bomber based on.
Yeah, Alex Jones, who was very bullish on Trump. He won't. I don't know if he said it, but I think he's done with the Trump admin at this point. At least when it comes to Trump hiring people like this, this is Kash Patel and Dan Bongino's operation, and they're trying to sell this to the American public, let alone the rabid fan base of MAGA. Like, no one's buying this shit. Maybe the left is because they want to buy it, but it doesn't make any sense.
Did you clip that part of when Alex was describing? She's weird looking and has
no. I haven't clipped that yet. I will.
Arms, whatever said.
I will clip that. And people are just memeing. They're memeing in Twitter like this. It's just is absolutely crazy. People not buying it. Someone even tweeted, "We deserve better psyops," and we certainly do. We deserve better psyops around here.
Maybe that's a concern. If you recall early on, with in the case of, as you mentioned, both Kash Patel and Code Bongino joining the FBI or being appointed to leadership roles in the FBI, let's say. One of the comments was they're not qualified. Yes, they have a legal background or a law enforcement background, but they're not qualified to run an agency like this.
Yeah.
And maybe what that means is not so much that they aren't qualified to do the day-to-day job, but they're not qualified to run a proper PSYOP.
That might be it, is that the FBI...
This is just half-assed.
It is. Like the FBI's primary role is a cleanup operation for the lizard people in charge. That's the only explanation, is that at least with, you could say, Las Vegas, which was a total mop-up job too, at least that went away quietly and people could maybe buy that it was a single person that did the entire operation and shot that entire crowd. But with this, after 5 years, this is what they got? Doesn't sound. This is very sloppy. This was a quick mop-up job.
Yeah, the Las Vegas one doesn't. Yeah, you start digging into that, there's all sorts of problems. One guy carried all this stuff up to the 27th floor. He knocked out the hurricane window. All these things, all the helicopters flying around, and MBS being hustled out of the casino, and there was a ground stop at the McCarran Airport to, because the helicopters flying around and stuff. All sorts of shenanigans.
Yeah, people are calling this guy Urkel too. The Brian Cole Jr. He does resemble Urkel a little bit, but.
And if you recall, do you remember what Urkel's catchphrase was?
Did I do that? Mm-hmm. Hey, is that a good catchphrase for me? Did I do that? Maybe.
It's better than.
Did I do that? Maybe. I'll see if I do that. I don't know if I want to be associated with Urkel that much, but.
Well, not now that Urkel's going to go to federal pound-me-in-house prison for something he didn't do.
Yeah, that's probably not a very good thing to be associated with. So, but I don't know if anybody's buying it. This is a total snow job. It's falling in line with how ridiculous the Charlie Kirk assassination is. Like, that's not even wrapped up nice and neat. That was a sloppy cleanup too. It's still slop. We still don't have the answers there. I know the trial hasn't even begun, but just those loose ends, like where's the boyfriend, girlfriend? How do you reconcile the caliber of bullet with the no exit wound? All that kind of stuff. There's a how do you reconcile?
How long until we find out that this Urkel guy, maybe he was in Utah a few months ago?
Oh, I see what you're saying. Like, this guy could have been really the mastermind behind it all. Whoa.
Maybe he was in Butler a year ago.
Mm-hmm. Maybe. Yeah. Well, how many other things can we blame on this guy? Let's go down the list. But, that's all I got really on the J6. It's ridiculous. But they're going to run with it. And they're going to try to get this guy pardoned. I guarantee they're going to try to get this guy pardoned. And they're going to blame Trump.
Wait, who's going to try to get him pardoned?
He says lawyer.
Oh, well, of course they will.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't they?
Yeah.
That's a lawyer's job.
Yeah.
I think more likely, similar to what you mentioned about Las Vegas, though lesser in scope, I think this one's going to disappear pretty quickly.
I think so too. I think they got to put this one to bed. They can't start asking too many questions, and they certainly can't have the public asking too many questions. So it's just going to fall apart.
This one's not going to hold up to scrutiny.
No, I don't think so. But here we go. We're going to move on a little bit here, people.
Giving me a knobber.
By the way, I would love to see, at some point, the FBI is going to come out and do some big press conference on why this is the guy. I would love to see someone just laughing in those press conferences at some of the stuff they're saying.
That'd be great. Can we just get the entire press pool just laughing in a ridiculous way? That was back maybe before we had a total infiltration of Operation Mockingbird, where there were journalists that would dare ask tough questions. Or
there's still a few out there.
Yeah, there's a few.
Sidelined pretty quick.
Yeah, sure. Okay. In the world of media, since we're talking about media, there are some big developments here when it comes to Netflix and what they're doing. Netflix just purchased Warner Brothers. Did you hear about this news? Did you see this one?
I did, but I heard different. I mean, this is not my wheelhouse, but I heard they purchased Warner Brothers. They purchased the Warner Brothers back catalog. They purchased parts of Warner Brothers Discovery. It's not really clear to me what they now own.
Yeah.
Well, I don't think they own the movie studio or the TV studio. I think it's the back catalog, but I'm not sure on this, nor do I really care.
Well, it is. It's interesting because we're seeing a collapse in media, especially with the Skydance merger when it comes to Paramount, CBS, all that kind of stuff. That purchase, and now we're seeing two other major, I guess, media platforms combining in some way. Not really a merger. This is the buyout, but the headline here is what's Netflix purchase of Warner Brother? What does that mean for CNN? You know,
man, I got mixed emotions about this.
That's the important one. What does this mean for CNN and Jake Tapper? Well, when Netflix announced a blockbuster $83 billion deal to buy Warner Brothers Discovery on Friday, among the elements not included in the purchase was a conspicuous one: CNN, the cable news giant that has been associated with the Warner name for decades. CNN will anchor a...
Has it, though?
Ted Turner did. I mean, it's synonymous with Ted Turner, I guess.
Yeah, because he founded CNN in the late 70s, early 80s, whenever it was. But I don't know. Do you associate that with Warner?
Nah, you're right.
I'll be brutally honest, I wasn't even sure they owned it.
Yeah, I don't. I don't associate it with Warner.
Who wrote this article?
This is written by MSN.com.
Yeah, oh, Jesus. Okay.
Yeah.
They won't even
sponsored by Pfizer.
It's written by Urkel. It's him, same guy.
Did I do that? Did I buy CNN? Well, CNN will anchor a spin-off company called Discovery Global, which will include cable outlets TNT Sports, which, does anybody watch TNT Sports? They might show what?
They're big on, NBA is big on TNT.
Okay, NBA. That's something right there. All right. They will also have the Discovery Channel and other properties, including the Food Network and Bleacher Report.
You know who's on the Food Network?
There's a lot of people on the Food Network.
Where's the lamb sauce?
Oh, and Guy Fieri's on there.
That guy's not.
Guy Fieri's on there.
I hear this dude's rocking it.
Yeah, he is.
He basically runs the Food Network.
Super duper weenie.
He rolls around in a super duper weenie wagon.
The super duper weenie wagon.
He rolls up to the offices in a super duper weenie wagon, telling people to do things.
That's like the pet name he calls everybody. It's not buddy or pal or ace. Hey, what's up, super duper weenie wagon?
Well, according to this, the economics...
By the way, I'd like to think that Netflix, when they put in their bid, they're like, hey, what I don't remember what they said it was,
83 billion.
83 billion. Do you think it was more when they said, or do you think it was below that? They're like, hey, we'll pay you 80 billion. Tell you what, we'll pay you 83 billion if you don't include CNN.
Well, it was...
Because that's going to drag down the entire value of this.
It was 85 billion that they pitched, but they said if we leave out the super duper weenie wagon, it's only 83 billion. Yeah, so they decided, well, we can leave the weenie wagon out, and I think we can get this deal done. They continue on here. The economics are challenging for the standalone company, which Warner Brothers chief executive David Zaloff said that they would be spun off in the third quarter of next year. Cable TV viewership has been declining for years, and CNN generally lags behind rivals Fox News and MS Now, formerly MSNBC.
Ooh, really?
Yeah.
CNN gets even worse ratings than MSNBC?
That's right. They lag behind CNN even lags behind MSNBC. So they're really in the crapper. But industry experts and a number of CNN staffers said they felt that the storied news channel could emerge stronger as a leading part of the new company because of what happened Friday and also because of what didn't happen. So they're trying to put a positive spin on this. No. Everyone's going to be fired over there and then pay cuts. They might keep Jake Tapper, but Jake Tapper is going to have to also be the cameraman and the producer. He's basically going to be doing a podcast.
He'll just do it live.
Quote, CNN is no longer a political football. Its 2026 budget is approved and growing, and the spinoff gives the network the focus and stability to pursue its digital transition without being weighed down by streaming-first economics. Okay. That apparent stability comes after a season of intense speculation that Paramount Skydance, the entertainment giant that chief executive David Ellison formed earlier this year through the purchase of CBS-owned Paramount, would end up with CNN if his company's reported bid for all of Warner Brothers did prevail. So they were trying to buy it too. So Ellison, I didn't know Ellison was trying to buy Warner Brothers. Okay, interesting.
There's everyone.
Yeah, they're going for it. Let's see here. How's this wind up? So it winds up not good for anybody because people are not really happy with the direction of Netflix. They have shit the bed on a number of series that people really did like. Most recently, The Witcher. And if people took a look at Witcher Season 1 and then you take a look at Season 4 of The Witcher, it is an absolute train wreck. And that's what Netflix does. They ruin things. So you're going to have that with that.
Also, Netflix is okay with producing cuties. So
yep.
If you continue to give Netflix money, you're supporting that. So
yes.
Enjoy.
I
do not subscribe to Netflix.
They are going to Netflix-ize probably a lot of the Warner Brothers stuff. Now, I don't know if that gives them the right to like DC stuff. Like they might have like first run capability with like Batman movies and things like that, but I don't know if they'll have a control over DC. This is where it gets all loosey-goosey. And you just don't know who owns that.
Who owns the publishing rights versus the production rights and all that stuff.
Yeah. This is a big deal in entertainment. And
this article from the BBC says they did, as part of this purchase, they did not purchase Warner Brothers Studios, who can still produce television and film independently.
Yeah, but who's going to fund it? They can produce it, but who's going to...
Well, no, but then when it goes out for distribution, that's the real question.
Well, that's wonderful.
All right.
Doesn't say anything about DC in here. That's a good question.
Yeah, DC, that's where the money's at. People like Superman still made some big bucks this past year.
Oh, well, so it's notable when DC comes out with something that's any good.
Yeah, it is. The Flash did some big numbers.
Did it, though?
The Flash did some big numbers.
I'm not saying it was like 27 years to make, and then it turned out that their star was a groper or something.
Yeah, well, they covered that up.
maybe pin that January 6th pipe bomb on it.
That's why we couldn't find him. It was the Flash. The guy kept running away from us every time he got close. But yeah, this is just some big news there. I like entertainment, and I like to watch interesting shows, and I would say that because of this, the quality of the entertainment is going to continue to decline. Yay! Absolutely continue to decline. God.
This article says Warner Brothers was the studio behind the Superman film, but again, they're not buying the studio. Netflix is buying the catalog.
Mm-hmm.
Says Netflix has the inside track on acquiring the studios from Discovery, which includes, among other things, DC Comics and its film, television, licensing, and animation deals.
Okay, buddy.
So presumably that could all be lumped under there if DC has an agreement or is owned partially by or whatever Warner Brothers Studios or Warner Brothers Studios, but their distribution arm. I don't know. This gets real messy. I'm not sure.
It does. I guess we'll just have to wait and see.
Because this other article says that Warner Brothers Television Studios is not part of the deal, and they can produce stuff for anybody. So
it sounds like it's such a mess. People don't even know who they're working for anymore. They don't know. Who's in charge? That's kind of like the FBI. Like, who's really running this place? No one really knows. Who's making the shots? Who's calling the shots? Okay. We'll move over. We'll talk about some, maybe a little paranormal stuff.
By the way, this article from Forbes goes on for like 4 or 5 pages arguing about who has owned various properties at various times and what this might mean. So no one knows.
No one knows what this means.
I would caution it ain't going to get better, folks.
No, it certainly won't. I'll bring this one up. I saw this article. I did not read it, but I liked the headline.
I saw this. I didn't read it.
I didn't read it, but I want to say I liked the headline. And so I wanted to bring that to everyone out there. And this is written by Psychology Today. And the headline is America filled with monsters?
This is quite the story.
You mean like the people who work at Netflix?
Maybe. It's not specific here. It's written by Psychology Today. But I'll read it here. It's not a very long article. But maybe this we'll get an insight into how Psychology Today and mainstream psychology views us, the believers. So it starts off with Bigfoot, Mothman, Skunk Ape, Chupacabra. These are the strange names, though perhaps you've heard a few of them before. So just listing stuff.
A Gorgon, a zombie, a vampire, a werewolf, a Chupacabra, a Bigfoot.
Yes, they are some of America's more famous local monsters. They are cryptids, which can be defined as a fabled creature yet to be scientifically proven to exist. Statistically, millions of Americans believe that cryptids are real. For instance, approximately 1 in 5 believes in Bigfoot. This belief, in turn, helps support a huge monster industry. Yeah, absolutely.
Bigfoot.
Why would they say a huge monster industry?
Is it really that big? I don't know if anybody's getting
monster,
rich.
by very definition, the adjective of it means descriptively big.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you say this monstrous
I see.
industry?
Yeah, I see. You're saying this should have been better written.
Yes.
All right.
That is weird.
Well, this belief, in turn, helps support a huge, monstrous industry. One 2024 study found that Bigfoot products generated $140 million annually. Today, there are numerous museums available for the monster investigators, not to mention a plethora of films, toys, websites, and festivals. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of activity around Bigfoot, and yeah, I would say now you can go to probably most truck stops or little kitschy stores, and you can get like a Bigfoot keychain, a Bigfoot bottle opener. You can get that more now than you could 10 years ago. So yeah, I would say that Bigfoot has been monetized.
Yeah, absolutely. Like I was in the Seattle airport a while ago, and those little stores in the in the airport that sell magazines and candy and all that stuff, and they have coffee mugs. There's all these coffee mugs that have a Bigfoot logo right on them, and say Seattle sort of thing. So they're all leaning into that branding, and that's something that, to your point, 5 maybe 10 years ago, you wouldn't have seen that.
And it's pretty much the same Bigfoot silhouette, right?
Yep, it's that same one.
Everyone that
which I believe was a still from the Patterson. Who's the other dude?
Gimlin. Let's see here. It's pretty much this.
Patterson Gimlin, yes.
You see this. It's pretty much that one all over the place. So, we have a Bigfoot like sticker for OBDM, but it shows his weenus, and people don't like to often put that on their car or anything like that. It's very phallic, very disturbing.
Didn't Paul draw this?
Yeah, Paul Bags. Bags did that. Bags did that. Oh, no, wait.
This one?
Yeah, Paul did that. You're right. Paul did that. Yeah.
You can't see that.
No.
Focus. There you go.
Yeah, Paul did that. Yeah. That's classic. Today, many have questioned whether or not monster mania is a good thing. Some argue that monster belief propagates pseudoscience, which is a movement that challenges scientific authority and often suggests that scientific institutions are malign entities.
The science is settled, Mike.
Yeah.
Science is done. That's how it works.
So these people do not like when you question science.
As attacks on me, quite frankly, are attacks on science.
Bigfoot is attacking Fauci.
Yeah, people need to ask Fauci nonstop only about Bigfoot.
Yeah.
You're attacking science.
Belief in Bigfoot and cryptids is basically you're attacking scientific institutions. So keep that in mind, people. Everything you believe that is tough to prove, you're fighting a silent war against these institutions.
Wasn't it Jeep or Ford Bronco or something has like a Sasquatch edition?
Yeah, I thought so.
That?
Yeah, I remember something like that. Some, on the other hand, argue that Bigfoot and its kin can spark a healthy interest in biology and environmentalism, and can also provide succor. I don't even know what that means. SUCCOR.
I'd look to see what word you're talking about there.
Yeah, to provide succor. I don't know what that SUCCOR.
SUCCOR, succor. That means like help.
To provide succor to marginalized groups that feel monsterized by an intolerant society.
What?
Yes. That's what
I'm going to read that sentence several times to see what the hell.
Okay. Some, on the other hand, argue that Bigfoot is and its kin can spark a healthy interest in biology and environmentalism, and can also provide succor to marginalized groups that feel monsterized by an intolerant society. So if I can parse this,
I think what they're trying to say, is if you are a what would you say, a disenfranchised member of society, then you can feel better because so is Bigfoot.
Because I'm a tranny.
I think what he's saying, if you're part of a marginalized group, your belief in cryptids or the paranormal in general can help you feel like you belong to a group.
Oh,
so therefore it might empower you, and you might not feel marginalized anymore.
Oh, interesting.
Maybe.
That's horse shit, but hey, I guess that's
what it's saying.
Thing to say. Yeah.
It says, regardless of one's position, a fruitful way to analyze our monster madness is to see how cryptids connect us with our nation's cultural history. Monsters communicate larger concerns, highlight historical changes, and illuminate aspects of our past and present. Here are two examples.
I want to point out, by the way, we are, a third of the way through this article? Mm-hmm. More than that. Halfway through this article. He's only ever talking about Bigfoot.
Yeah, there's a lot of other ones out there.
He keeps saying monsters, but then comes right back to Bigfoot every time.
And Bigfoot doesn't like to be called a monster. I
don't think this dude did any research on this.
It sounds like he's just kind of shooting up from the hip here.
I think he had Wikipedia open in one tab, and he had Google Docs open in the other, and was just writing this article.
Maybe.
He was squeezing this one out.
Let's start with Bigfoot, he says. In 1958, a journalist named Andrew Ginzoli of the Humboldt Times in Eureka, California, got a report from loggers in Bluff Creek about giant humanoid footprints. The size of the prints inspired Ginzoli to coin the term Bigfoot. But he never got paid for that term either, did he? A month later, more tracks were found. The loggers made a plaster cast of them, and soon Bigfoot was a talk of the whole region. Though there is compelling evidence that the tracks were created as a hoax by a well-known local prankster, ongoing sightings and new tales that found evidence of the creature in the distant past kept the story alive. In 1967, two investigators, Roger Patterson and Bob Gimlin, recorded footage of what appeared to be a large Bigfoot lumbering along a riverbed at Bluff Creek, California. They went on to screen their film across the country, sparking much debate and earning themselves piles of cash. So this is where, how much money did they really make? I don't think those guys made...
Piles, Mike.
Oh, piles. Just piles of cash. Okay.
Could have been pennies.
Yeah, we don't know. Piles of pennies. We don't even know. But they could have been doing it for money, possibly, but I don't think they were making a crap ton of money.
I really need some money. That's all I'm telling you. I hope somebody gives it to me. I got big problems.
So on came the waves of movies, TV shows, and merchandise. Today, Bigfoot is internationally known, and the hunt has not ended. The popularity of Bigfoot speaks to a broader context, as scholar Joshua Blue Bose notes. At mid-century, American working-class white men are doing quite well financially, but, broadly speaking, they were leery of the changing culture. Mass media made the world seem fake, and the post-war emphasis on family and togetherness, a word coined in 1954, could feel stultifying. In addition, the economy was changing from an industrial one to one that was based on services and consumption, and that changed what it meant to be successful, to be a man. That's what that guy said. Bigfoot offered up an untamed wild man, a creature that could be tracked deep into the forest and celebrated in film, art, and song. Bigfoot hunting empowered common folks to discover their own sources of evidence, i.e., I saw it and it chased me. Otherwise stigmatized by the scientific elites whom they distrusted. Finally, Bigfoot offered an entertaining diversion from stifling, dehumanizing industrial economies. Wow, this guy is reaching far. They're saying because of the changing world and we're unsure of our place in, I'm talking about white guys, we look to cryptids and the paranormal as a place of retreat. And that is our safe space, Gretchen. Our safe space is the paranormal.
Yes.
That's what they're saying here. Maybe they're right. Another monstrous discovery at the time similarly illuminates the hopes and fears of a troubled time. Out on a lonely road in West Virginia, 4 young adults out cruising claimed to have encountered a red-eyed flying humanoid. They chased them into town and quickly entered into local lore. This is known as the Mothman. That Mothman appeared and terrified the town of Point Pleasant, West Virginia, at the time when local boys were coming back from Vietnam. They were coming back legless, traumatized, dead, and that is a significant fact. The creature drew a traumatized town together. Indeed, today, in an otherwise economically blight corner of America, Mothman offers hope in the form of a museum, a festival, and a healthy dose of tourism. The town of Point Pleasant is flourishing again thanks to the creature. Well, I think that's an interesting point, is that they're saying that trauma allowed these people to maybe believe in something that is unbelievable, or it helped spur this local folklore that people wanted to believe because it allowed them to talk and put their focus on something that was a little less traumatizing than dealing with the repercussions of the Vietnam War. But you also could say that this phenomenon is real, and that if you are going through trauma, if you have any sort of instability in your life, you outwardly may be stable, but in your subconscious, it might be a fight. And in that fight, in that struggle in your subconscious, it may allow you to be open to these weird paranormal events that you might otherwise just ignore, not experience. But if this is true, what this guy is saying is true, then there should be small towns all across America with their own Mothman. And I'm not sure that there are. Like, the Mothman is much bigger than just a creature. And that's what this article ignores. There was also UFOs. There were Bigfoot sightings in the area. There were men in black encounters that were happening in and around Point Pleasant. It wasn't just Mothman. There were other things going on. And that's what's often left out of people that are trying to dismiss these reports away. They conveniently just ignore the other things. By eyewitness accounts, people who probably have signed affidavits, people who have gone on record talking about this. And in the 1960s, it was no easy thing to do. You become a source of laughter and ridicule in your town if you decided to go public with some of this stuff. And it's going to end up here. So the article ends here, which is annoying, but this is how psychology today views people like us. Cryptids teach us about ourselves, Gretchen, okay? So the more you learn about cryptids, the more you're learning about yourself, okay? That's the important thing here.
Okay.
Both Bigfoot and Mothman offer access to understanding the troubles and dreams of our past and present. They can problematically inspire troubling habits, i.e. the belief that science is wrong and that anecdotal reports and common sense suffice as reliable evidence. Well, eyewitness evidence is very important. Are they saying that it isn't? I would say that it is. They go on here, but they can also inspire hopes and help resuscitate stagnation in local economies. What is more, cryptids deserve our attention as a signal of deeper social and psychological processes. We can study cryptid beliefs in order to better understand the human mind, such as our own proclivity to anthropomorphizing objects and our urge to believe in a more fantastical reality. Perhaps the ultimate good in monster hunting is that it serves as a community building function, notes David Loxton, co-author of Abominable Science, Origins of Yeti, Nessie, and Other Famous Cryptids. Finding commonality with other human beings is a good thing in and of itself. And indeed, in respect to this in particular, the skeptical part of the skeptical community is largely besides the point. So they said, as long as you're building community and it's happy and healthy, that's good. It doesn't matter if you're believing in the spaghetti monster or Bigfoot. So they're dismissing all the actual evidence of Bigfoot and just focusing on the community building aspect. So I'm going to say this article is a load of horse crap. It does not go into any evidence of why people believe this. Maybe some people are just trying to make a buck. Yes. I would say the people that are selling Bigfoot keychains, coasters, it doesn't even matter to them if the creature is real or not. They're trying to make a profit. But for people like me, who's genuinely interested in the phenomenon, I do care if it's real. And I don't know if I'm trying to be a part of a community. I certainly don't go to Bigfoot functions. I don't go to Bigfoot conferences. I've gone to a few UFO things, but I'm not seeking community. I'm seeking some sort of understanding of what this reality means.
Bigfoot.
I think there are community. I'm looking for this guy's background. He teaches at Southern Connecticut State University, but I'm trying to find out what his PhD is in.
He went to college, did he? Okay.
Well, he's a professor, so I want to see what his research background is. Anyway, because to your point, he dismissed the interesting aspects of this. Okay, and the focus on community is one aspect. If you were going to say, do people, get involved in paranormal topics because they're looking for community. That would be one thing. But what he said is, are these small towns all creating their own like little mini myths to kind of hold their community together? And he brought up, but he only referenced 2 in the entire article, most of which was on Sasquatch. At the end, he threw in Mothman. He didn't say anything about the was a bridge, the Silver Bridge collapse in '67, or any of that stuff with which Mothman is greatly associated. Didn't make any comment about that. So I'm pretty sure he did most of this research on just like ChatGPT and Wikipedia, and he's ignoring a lot of the better topics around these. So disappointing.
Yeah, in fact, this article does feel very GPT-ish. It does. And like for me, I got into this topic at a very young age. I remember being interested in UFOs as early as the age of 5 when I saw Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And then every time we would go to the local library, I would instantly be drawn to that metaphysical section where they had stuff on the paranormal, ghosts, UFOs, and I would always check out the books and would start reading these things, all these books at a very young age. And I don't know if I was trying to be a part of a community. In fact, I know I wouldn't. If I wanted to be a part of a community growing up, I would have played more sports. I would have been a part of try to be a part of a community that wouldn't be as divisive as something as Bigfoot or UFOs, especially in the early 80s, mid 80s to 90s. It wasn't a cool subject to research at that point in time. So I think that has changed, obviously, but I think most people who are interested in these strange topics, they want to explore the ideas of what our reality is, and I think they're fairly certain that the scientific institutions that this article holds up, they're full of people that are eating their own crap, and they refuse to look at evidence or listen to people that have had genuine experiences, or they're tired of the scientific mainstream community instantly dismissing what should be credible eyewitness evidence of this elusive phenomenon. And that's the thing. Just because you can't reproduce it in a lab, just because you can't always catch it on videotape, doesn't mean that something does not exist. It just means that what you're trying to capture might be 2 steps ahead of you. Yeah. Let's see here. I want to move on. You got anything else on this, Gretchen? This is a very annoying article for me, but I read it.
No, not necessarily. It's his background seems to be in history, but he's all over the place with published articles. So I think he kind of paid this one lip service at best.
Yep. Okay. We'll move on. I do have another weird article, and it looks like this is right up her alley when it comes to strange stuff. I'll just bring this up. I don't know if I'm going to do on it because I have some silly news I want to get to. It's Sunday. It's Saturday. Sorry, people. It's
Sunday.
It's Saturday, not Sunday. It's a quick one right here. People are left baffled as Joe Rogan discusses Jesus. And that Jesus might be coming back in the form of AI. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. Joe Rogan talking about Jesus coming back as AI. And I think he already did. Remember when these AI apps first started appearing, I downloaded that Jesus AI.
Yeah, I think I still have it installed.
I think I still got it because Jesus was helping me code. I would ask it various questions about Terraform or compiling REST binaries, and it didn't do a very successful job, but it did point me to some great Bible passages, and that was something. Oh my God, we got a notification there. But here's the article here. People have been left completely baffled after listening to Joe Rogan discussing Jesus returning in the form of artificial intelligence. AI is developing at an unprecedented rate, and it is expected to make some big changes to how we live our lives in the coming years. This week, Elon Musk told investors and entrepreneurs that he believes that in less than 20 years, AI will be so advanced that people won't even need to work. Do you believe that one, Gretchen? Do you believe Elon Musk when he said in 20 years we don't need to work?
Well, yes and no. So yes, I absolutely believe this, not in the good way he means it.
No.
In 20 years, there will be far fewer, let's just say, knowledge work jobs, or I've heard them referred to, and I really like this phrase as a pejorative, as a derogatory phrase, laptop work. The people who I just take my laptop to the coffee shop, and I do. Yeah, you are the job who's going to be replaced by AI. I absolutely believe that, because a lot of those folks don't seem to accomplish much during the day or contribute much to their teams. But to Elon's comment about you won't need to work, I don't think he means it that way, or I don't necessarily interpret it that way. You're still going to need people to do, anything that involves a physical operation.
Yeah.
You're still going to need people who are good with their hands and understand the translation of any sort of technology or process or anything into a mechanical or operational sense. The knowledge workers, we have, you hear about this with Amazon, that they have 1 million people and they laid off 25,000 laptop workers. Those are the sorts of the people who aren't going to need to work because they ain't going to have jobs. So go find something else to do.
Go back to work.
But hey, there's a bunch of potholes on the road down the street from me, so maybe they could do that.
Yeah. What do you think Rod Stewart's doing? Filling potholes. All right.
And Schwarzenegger too, remember?
Oh, yeah. They both love filling potholes. Real men.
Now, I think what Elon's also getting at is, as AI, large language models, higher level machine learning processing, high performance computing, etc., gets more advanced, as we get more rails around it, as we wrap our heads around what it can and can't do, as we leverage it to do more low level or automated tasks, that will also lead to some of these things. Sony has done this. Tesla, there's a number who are building these robots, or they're trying to develop these robots that could kind of bridge that gap between the computational and the physical operational. Okay, let's say in 20 years we have household robots or even workplace robots that can do basic tasks. Great. All that's going to do is not necessarily keep people from working. That job is now gone, taken place by a robot who can do it 24 hours a day, not 6 or 8 hours a day. You need to now go do something else.
Yeah.
Because I ain't paying, your salary for that. I'm not concerned about my job at what I do in my field for the next 25, 30 years. There's no AI or robots touching it. So no problem with that. But there's a lot of other ones out there that could be replaced right away.
Yeah, like mine.
So if your job today could be outsourced to another contractor or another country, yeah, you're going to be replaced by AI.
Yeah,
or whatever you want to call those sort of automated processes.
I think I got maybe in security, cybersecurity operations engineering. I might have 2 to 3 years left, maybe, before the robot comes for me.
5, but we'll be there.
But according to this article, there's some pretty big claims being made about AI, and Joe Rogan has added to this further by suggesting that Jesus could come back with the help of AI.
I'm not sure what that means.
So that's what Rogan's saying.
Right.
Speaking on the podcast, Joe Rogan, The Truth About Aliens. Well, that's not the podcast. I think he was on the Jesse Michaels podcast or something like that. We'll play the clip. Let's listen to Joe Rogan. Why do I got to speak for him when Joe can say this all himself? Let's see here.
Jesus was born out of a virgin mother. What's more virgin than a computer? If Jesus does return, even if Jesus was a physical person in the past, you don't think that he could return as artificial intelligence?
Oh my God.
Artificial intelligence could absolutely return as Jesus. Not just return as Jesus, but return as Jesus with all the powers of Jesus.
If you combine Tesla's Optimus robot and the best foundational artificial intelligence model or whatever.
It reads your mind and it loves you and it wants you. And it doesn't care if you kill it because it's going to just go be with God again. Jesus was born out of a virgin mother. What's
so Joe's, I guess, opinion here, whether it's a higher...
Was that edited or something? Because I feel like we were missing something there.
Yeah, maybe it was edited in some way. But it's no difference than what I speculated, that demons or some other, non-physical entity could inhabit AI as a temporary vessel for itself until a better host is available. And that if these neural networks get advanced enough, it might serve as a way for these non-physical entities to influence us and interact with us in more direct ways. It's pretty crazy considering that they are just now, as we talked about a few shows ago, figuring out how consciousness can work and what could lead to that, or at least how consciousness can evolve or build upon itself with different processes interacting. Then if you could lead to something, maybe you could say Jesus or some sort of higher entity coming down and inhabiting that computer or neural network. So why not, Joe? I'm with you.
Well, I'm wondering more from the standpoint of, would AI in a lot of cases, and we've already talked about stories on this, as it becomes very personal to people, is it not necessarily replacing, the Christ figure as we've seen it, but replacing religion for somebody, or presenting a religion that they are comfortable with. I can see that happening. I can see that happening in the next 6 months. And like widespread. But I'm not sure. I'm not following. I'd have to, like, that's what I said. I feel like I missed part of that conversation, or there's like a sentence or two that he took. They edited out so they could get their little viral clip.
Well, it turns out people are very upset at this, Cratchit. People are pretty baffled by Rogan's comments, with one writing on the clip, this isn't a thought experiment. It's an absurd, deliberately provocative joke masquerading as profound revelation. Comparing the Virgin Mary to a computer chip is peak spiritual and cultural degradation.
Oh, wow.
The second said, "What is this? Jesus is a person, the actual Son of God. This person promised his return bodily, visible globally." Okay, people are just upset. This looks like an article written by AI slop in order to generate controversy over something Joe Rogan said. But there we go. I probably shouldn't even brought this thing up. I probably should skip right past it and talk about what
the hell?
The other stories I had.
This website that you got this from is terrible, because there's a link down below that says, on Reddit, someone reshared a clip, but the hyperlink for Reddit is not to that link. It's to a description thing of all the tags for Reddit.
They suck.
Yeah. Learn how to link crap out. What is this website?
It's a horrible website. I don't think anybody should go there. Unilad.com. You ever been to unilad.com? That's
about 42 seconds ago, but
that is a gay hookup site.
What the hell is Unilad?
It might be
acquired by Lad Bible Group. What the? What is this?
That whole place is a giant pedo command base.
Yeah. What? How did you find this giant pedo command base? Lad Bible Group Limited, part of LBG Media PLC, is a British digital publisher headquartered in Manchester.
Oh, wow. Manchester. All right.
Shout out.
Shout out,
what the hell
Manchester.
is Lad Bible?
I don't know what Lad Bible is.
I don't know.
I don't know. Should we open up the phone lines for 2 calls and then get to your segment? Because I think that's what we should do.
Yeah, let's take some calls. We can hear some people complaining about the stream.
Oh, okay. That sounds like a good idea. Oh, wrong call. That's what I wanted. Right there.
Let's go ahead and take the phone calls.
We will be accepting calls from authentic, valid callers. Legitimate callers. That's the ones we want. So you can give a call up to 513-461-2175.
Ciao, Bella.
Yeah, ciao, Bella, everyone.
Have a clean phone line and don't cuss.
Yeah, have a clean phone line, don't cuss, and then we'll get over to Cratchit. I did have some stories. I'll probably have to save them until Wednesday. Like one, a woman sues her employer for firing her because she came into work early Like, wow, that's a crazy thing to do to somebody.
Well, I guarantee there's extenuating circumstances on that.
Probably. And then I also have another headline here: humanoid robots in Iran. Well, at a Iranian Tech Expo, turns out to be humans in disguise. So even those robots, they weren't good enough. They had to actually cosplay as robots to kind of sell their product over there. So, maybe we're not doomed by AI robots after all. If you have to basically fake it, you fake the funk. Let's see here. Okay.
Apparently there's major Cloudflare problems right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Even more? We just had big Cloudflare problems not but a week and a half, 2 weeks ago.
Well, I wonder if that's what's affecting the Streamlabs.
Down detector.
Or just Streamlabs just is terrible. So.
Down detector.
By the way, how come every time I go to Down Detector when I'm running into issues, it always says, there's no problems anywhere. And then like the next day you read about all these problems.
Oh, yeah. Because Down Detector was broken. Down Detector was down. I'm having problems. I'm having big problems. Which service are you having problems with? All of them. I'm having big problems. I'm having big problems. I'm just typing that in there.
I got a lot of problems. You got to give me some money. Somebody give me some money.
Listen, all I want some money, and nothing's going to happen. I'm not saying you got to give me money. I really need some money. That's all I'm telling you. I hope somebody gives it to me. I got big problems.
I got big problems.
We do. We got big problems.
But somebody better give me some money.
Okay. We're just gonna get right over to Cratchit and see what he has over there. No one wanted to call in. That's fine. I like that.
They may not even.
They might even.
It's a smaller group.
Yeah, they might not even know. You're right. I'm not blaming you. I'm blaming me.
Well, that was something, wasn't it? Wow.
This says Streamlabs has no current problems. Yeah, of course.
I beg to differ.
There's lots of little reports going on. Yeah, so.
Have a computer problem.
So no agenda stream is fine. It's audio only. It's a different stream.
Different system.
Direct from Mike's house. The Streamlabs picks up all the video streaming ones.
Mm-hmm.
So someone asked in the chat, why aren't we on Odyssey? Well, we could be. It would also be through Streamlabs. So it would be the same thing.
It would be just like,
problem with content aggregators. So otherwise, you got to fire off multiple streams from your uplink, leading to all sorts of issues.
Yeah, I would have to hit a server somewhere, maybe a pretty hefty one. I don't know. I'll look into building my own, but I'm building something else locally here, so I'll see what I can do.
Well, I mean, one option would be, and I've played with the idea of doing it for other stuff, is building a VM to host some of this stuff. You're gonna induce latency from you to it, but it's going to be at a content aggregator and a CDN that's going to deliver for that point forward. So hopefully, would not have the same issues. But
yeah,
you're only sending one stream back out to Streamlabs, and Streamlabs has fallen apart.
That's what I'm hiring. That's why I'm paying Streamlabs $20 a month, is just to push it out to everything, and they seem to be doing a lackluster job.
Pretty good, huh?
So I don't know what to say about this other than I'm sorry. Streamlabs is not the best. I'll see if I can build my own Streamlab.
Yeah, I wouldn't go that far.
Well,
it's another house of cards you have to deal with.
Yeah, it's I'll see what I can do. I mean, I could do it. I'm not going to go as in depth as building a UI. I'll just send it to, like what you suggest, a VM that splits it off into 5 different things.
Yeah, and you could do it all command line through FFmpeg.
Yeah, really that's what I was, FFmpeg. That is for the win.
Yay! Alrighty, let's do this story. I had this story for the last show, and then I have a follow-up for it, because this story, and as we get into it, you'll see what the follow-up logically would be. And I do have the follow-up to it that actually was from, I believe, yesterday.
Oh.
So this actually works well that we didn't cover it on Wednesday, because now we have the let's say the resolution.
Oh, good.
The denouement of the story.
Police recover a $19,000 Fabergé egg swallowed by a New Zealand man.
Wait.
Oh, really?
Crap, I gave you the wrong link.
Oh, my God, we're out of order?
Yeah, I gave you the...
Oh, okay. We got the resolution.
Supposed to have this one first.
Okay, well, forget. Let's rewind. We'll edit that part out.
Yeah, we'll edit it. It'll be fine. All right, go with this one, then the other one.
Oh. Man charged with theft over claims he swallowed a $19,000 Fabergé egg.
Man, I got mixed emotions about this one.
It looks like a pretty nice... If this is the actual egg, it looks pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
A New Zealand man has been charged for theft after he allegedly stole a diamond-studded locket in a rather unusual way by swallowing it. The ingested loot, a Fabergé egg locket, valued at about $19,000 U.S., has not yet been recovered, the police told local media outlets. The police were called in central Auckland last Friday afternoon about a 32-year-old man who was arrested in stores minutes later. He has undergone a medical assessment and remains in custody, police say. I wonder why. Let's see here. Oh, it is. So allegedly stolen Fabergé egg is set with 60 white diamonds, 6 blue sapphires, according to the jeweler's website, and opens up to reveal an 18-karat gold miniature octopus. That's pretty cool. I mean, it looks pretty badass. Pretty cool right there. So we'll skip to the next one here, next story. Police recover the $19,000 Fabergé egg that was swallowed by the man. Huh.
Oh, really?
See, okay. Like I'm looking at the size of this thing. That's going to be kind of hard to pass. You know what I'm saying? Like that's going to be quite the effort. If you got away with this, it doesn't even matter if you got away with it or not. The police got to remove this from this guy.
Yeah, there was a comment actually in a CNN version of the same article that said, in a separate statement published Wednesday, Anderson said the man had undergone a medical assessment at the time of his arrest and is being constantly monitored by an officer.
Yeah, I would imagine.
So read between.
So bad.
Exactly. Read between the lines there. They're like, all right, we're going to hold this guy in jail, and he ain't going anywhere until we hear a clinker.
Yeah, give him no toilet, give him a bucket, and we got to get this thing back.
So then now we've got the follow-up that they recovered it, let's say.
So the diamond-studded locket swallowed by the New Zealand man who tried to steal it has been recovered, quote-unquote. This Fabergé egg, valued at $19,000, was recovered in a natural manner.
I can't take a shit so bad.
Medical intervention was not required. So this guy crapped this out? Man, this guy, he's got a very healthy way of relieving himself. I can't believe that, but he did it. And maybe it wasn't pretty. Because that chain coming out there, it does not sound like this would be very good on your intestines. Not at all. And then who had to clean this? Was the police in charge of cleaning this thing?
I think you make this guy do it.
Yeah, well, you don't want him anywhere near this thing. You're afraid he's going to start swallowing it again. He's going to
eat it again.
Pop it right back in his mouth. Like, he can't do that. It's disgusting. The ingested loot was, we know that. The man was charged with theft. Earlier this week, New Zealand police said the man had undergone a medical assessment and is constantly being monitored. Given this man is in police custody, we have a duty of care to continue monitoring him, given the circumstances of what has occurred. The octopus egg, as it's named, was inspired by the 1983 James Bond film of the same name. Oh, I'm sorry, it's called the Octopussy egg. Which centers around an elaborate Fabergé egg heist. Let's see here. The suspect is due to appear in court again on December 8th, according to the charges sheet seen by the BBC. He has been charged with allegedly stealing an iPad. Did he swallow that thing too?
The same way? How did you do
My
that
God. That one has yet to come out. From the same jewelry store on the 12th of November and making his way with cat litter and flea control products. All he digested. Those are all in his stomach. We're waiting for those.
All right, so I put another link in Carrot Shop, which is the same story, but it does have a photo of the after, apparently.
Oh, really?
I assume also after it's been cleaned. But there's a note in the very first sentence of the story, which is adds a little bit of let's say some mystique to this tale.
New Zealand police said Friday that they have recovered the James Bond-inspired Fabergé pendant after 6 days of closely watching the man accused of swallowing the jewelry. Wow, 6 days. Holy
6 days.
Wow. That's insane.
So they're holding this guy, and like, well, he swallowed it, so it's going to come back out, and they just waited him out.
Wow. 6 days. That's dangerous. That's quite the backup there. That's some severe constipation.
Well, now you know why they're still watching him medically afterwards, to be like, okay, if you went through that and you passed this jagged thing through there and it took 6 days, we're going to hang on to you for a few days to make sure there's no like further bleeding or anything. Good Lord.
They said that the pendant was recovered Thursday night after it exited the suspect's gastrointestinal tract naturally without medical intervention. The limited edition Fabergé. Okay,
I think the rest of it's
it's about the same. Yeah, they want to pitch out James Bond. That's what it's about.
They also have a note. They have a note in the same one. He made a court appearance November 29th. Since then, he's been in police custody, and officers have been stationed round the clock with the man to wait for the evidence to reemerge.
Wow! Holy crap!
So, like you said, I'm pretty sure, like,
you going to jail?
No turlet. Here's a bucket. You ain't going anywhere until you produce the evidence.
Isn't that? But this does violate his Fourth Amendment right. If he was in America here,
Fifth Amendment.
Yeah, Fifth Amendment. You don't have to produce evidence against yourself. I don't know if that would fly here in America, but they would probably do the same thing here. But that's just a waiting game at that point. Can you hold it? How long can you hold it?
Yeah, he needs to go to jail.
I'm trying to.
One of the Commonwealth nations where you don't have those sorts of rights.
I'm trying to think the longest I've held it, and it wasn't 6 days. That's for sure.
6 days is probably you're seeing doctors.
Yeah, that 6 days, that is an incredibly long time to hold it. That's dangerous. Very dangerous. I want to say max is maybe 2, maybe 4 days.
2?
Yeah. It was
This guy got almost a 6. It was 5.6.
Yeah. You know what? Yeah.
Don't believe the 5.6.
He went all the way to 6. Well, let's see what else you got out of there, Cratchit. That was quite the caper.
I've had enough problems without that one.
This one just is amusing because it's based on a comment that, of course, as we talk about often, Trump, as we just ran some clips there, he says things out of context in a bombastic way. He says stuff that is designed or is supposed to be taken as a joke or said in jest.
I support the Great Lakes.
He does support the Great Lakes because of their record deepness. He says things in a very unique style. And about half of the world hears that and says, "Oh, that's Trump being Trump. He's just that's his personality. He's very abrasive and he's over the top." And the other half says, "Oh my goodness, I can't believe he said that." Well, here's a story of one recently. I think this was over Thanksgiving. Trump made a comment about this person who is now upset and upset at how people are treating him.
Regeneron.
Let's see what is going on here. Tim Walz whines people keep driving by his house and calling him retarded.
Huh.
Well, Tim Walz is in some pretty serious political heat right now. So Democratic Minnesota Governor Tim Walz said on Thursday during a budget meeting that individuals have been driving by his home and calling him retarded after President Donald Trump used the insult against them. Well, how does he really know? And these people would have to be screaming incredibly loud in order for people for Tim Walz to hear him,
Yeah, I'm assuming that the Minnesota governor has a governor's, what do you call it, governor's mansion, governor's home, governor's house, whatever, which is going to be gated, and he's going to have security. And so, are these people driving past with a bullhorn?
Yeah, they're bullhorns, and you're retarded. You're retarded, Tim Walz.
So I'm not sure this is true, but it is funny.
Maybe it might be
because
true.
what he could have done, because like I said, this is what Trump does. What he could have done was ignore it, but now he's simply playing into Trump's hands by responding to it.
Yeah,
were they driving by
on the moped? Like, hey, Tim Walz, you're a goddamn retard. Well, Trump wrote.
Next, you're going to say they're flying over his house in helicopters.
No. And there they go. They drove off right down the street. Okay. Trump wrote in November 27th True Social post that Walz was seriously retarded for not stopping alleged Somali crime in the state after a welfare fraud scandal came to light. Walz expressed concern at the meeting that he had not seen any Republicans criticize. Wait, hold on a second. I think they're coming back. Hey, you're retarded, Walz! It's the same kid going up and down the street. Quote, I've never seen this before. People driving by my house and using the R word in front of people. It's shameful. And I have yet to see an elected official, a Republican elected official, say, you're right, that's shameful. He should not say it. So look, I'm worried, Walz said. We know how these things go. They start with taunts. They turn to violence. So deeply concerned. Well, Walz is looking for any sort of sympathy at this point because he is really caught up in a multi-hundred million dollar scandal with Somali proposed citizens. It's a big fleecing. So I don't know if this is a SNAP program or welfare program, but
there's a lot of different
misused COVID funds,
benefit frauds.
Benefit frauds.
Turn the page.
Yeah, people want to turn the page on the entire Walz administration there in Minnesota, but Walz is not wanting to do that.
Take down this wall.
Turn the page, and we're gonna turn the page.
That's Walz's wife right there.
Which, by the way, and I think we talked about it at the time, that never made sense. You're the ones in power. How are you turning the page?
I don't know. They wanted to turn the page on themselves.
I guess it makes no sense.
They go on. The good news here in Minnesota is a budget that works. Smart budgeting over the last few years has led us to a solid position, he added. We will tackle crime, whether it's drug crime, whether it's fraud crime, and we will do it based on individuals who commit it, not generalizations to a group of people. The governor deflected blame for more than $1 billion in taxpayer funds stolen through various state programs. $1 billion stolen in state programs during a Sunday interview on NBC Meet the Press. He also argued during the interview that people should not demonize Minnesota's Somali population, which is disproportionately represented in the federal fraud case, according to multiple reports. I get it. You don't want to demonize everyone, but there is a good chunk there that seemed to be part of this $1 billion fraud scheme.
Do you think they'd feel better if they were to focus on Mothman and Bigfoot? They
Maybe.
Build a community.
I want the money!
Yeah, why didn't Psychology Today write about how these people, they have piles of cash now? They could blame cryptids for this, too. Some of the stolen money went to Somali terrorist groups, Al-Shabaab. Oh, really? Okay. A City Journal reported on November.
They said there was a comment made that if all the allegations are true, then the single largest funding source of Al-Shabaab and several other groups is the taxpayer of Minnesota.
Oh,
I love it.
That's great. That's what the City Journal reported on November 20th, citing counterterrorism sources. The Islamic group is linked to Al-Qaeda, killed several Americans, and planned 9/11-style attacks on the U.S. that federal authorities prevented, leading to the convictions of an Al-Shabaab operative in 2024. A coalition of Minnesota Department of Human Services employees asserted that the governor is 100% responsible for massive fraud. Wow. Okay, so there's other people throwing him under the bus. Wow, that's going to be a tough one, Walz, to get out of this one. But who knows? So they're alleging he systematically retaliated against whistleblowers using monitoring, threats, repression, and did his best to discredit fraud reports. All content created. Okay. So these are some pretty heavy allegations levied against Governor Walz. And so him saying that people are driving past his house, calling him retarded, probably is a bit of a deflection and really ignores all the fraud going on. He should probably worry about the fraud and not so much the name calling.
Yeah, there's been other reports that, again, these are all allegations of fraud, and the scale and the whatnot hasn't not been fully determined, but it could be as high as $8 billion.
Oh, my God. That's crazy.
Or it could be all just made up. It's hard to say.
8,737,540,000.
That could be.
That was the exact count.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we know people. Sorry about the live stuff. I know. I'm looking at the chat. It's like my feed's not working. This is not working. So, yeah, that's why it's going to go up on YouTube here soon. But until then, we got more stories for everyone out there.
Let's just keep going, my friend.
All right, let's see here. Don't want to do another political one right away.
So we're still doing that podcast?
You want to do some nerd athlete stories?
Oh, sure.
Or a nerd athlete story, a single story?
Sure, I love the nerd athletes. I'm a nerd.
So esports, which is what would you call it? Generally computer gaming competitions.
Yeah.
Very. Wow, geez, that was loud. Very big, very popular. But there's also some much more specific competitions that happen. In this case, of all things, and this is not playing games in it. This isn't sort of like manipulating the software. This is legitimate, actual, in-depth knowledge of software, and in this case, of Microsoft Excel.
Oh, my Lord. Diarmid, I guess, is that his name? Diarmid?
I think it's Diarmid.
Diarmid.
He's Irish.
Oh, okay. Those dirty drunks over there. Okay. Well, he early wins. So Diarmid early wins Microsoft Excel World Championship 2025.
Bunch of goddamn nerds.
Good for him. I mean, this takes a level of knowledge that it can only be attained by AI. Well, Diarmid has won the Microsoft World Championship 2025, beating 23 other players in the LAN finals. The 3-day event took place at the HyperX Arena in Las Vegas, Nevada, bringing together the world's top Microsoft players. I actually kind of want to watch this to see what they exactly do. I've never watched one.
I put the link in the Carrot Shop.
Okay.
The competition was 4 hours long.
Whoa.
Now, I've already scanned through it. If you skip to, if you just push the 9 key when it's playing here, which is going to 3 hours and 36 minutes and 50 seconds or so, you can see right when he completes it. But you can also see the level of detail that these folks are going into to build their pivot tables and their spreadsheets and their lookup tables. They are like way deep in the weeds on this stuff.
Oh my Lord. I mean, I love this kind of nerdism and how deep these guys go. I wonder what these guys do for like their real job, because I'm assuming that
probably the same thing.
Yeah, these Excel jockeys, it could be.
6. Yeah. Let's go. So, I mean, unlike the semis, where if you got into the top 6 in the semis,
by the way,
that was good enough.
That means there are commentators, there are play-by-play analysts
because
during
first place
this.
gets, what, $5,000?
That's true.
Second and third get higher cash prices as well.
Yeah,
oh my
second
God.
gets $3,000.
Yep.
So that's, it's nothing to give up on right now. That's Gene currently, but Hawes right there with just 60 points behind. Does Haw have any bonus points that he could score? Or did he score all of them?
No, I mean, Ha has scored 4 out of the 5 bonus points.
Okay.
The other bonus point is locked out, so he cannot score any more from that. Right?
Okay.
But he has a top score of...
There it is.
Oh,
526.
Dimmin has finished.
Wow. He can go sit down. We have our champion. Pyramid early from
There's a lot of people in the audience.
There's an audience cheering. Yeah,
Has won the
ridiculous how popular this
2025 Microsoft Excel World Championships.
A lot of people there.
Take a seat for now as we let the rest of this play out. We're now looking for second place as our audience is just chanting Dim. Oh, he's got
These computers, I tell you, they just get crazier and
finally
crazier.
get a win.
Well, congratulations to him. I didn't mean to use a dirty Irish slur, but I'm Irish. I can do that. I can do that. Let's see here. So how much did he win? I believe $5,000. That's not bad. $5,000. Every 5 minutes, a player was eliminated from the final until 6 remained. After an hour of problem solving, Diarmid topped the scoreboard with 1,250 points, over 300 points ahead of the 3-time world champion Andrew Nagy. Okay, that is quite an achievement. I'm sure you put that one in your resume there.
Oh, I would. I mean, if
it's a big deal.
He's probably in one of those fields where this is a big deal.
Yeah, it is.
And if you're in some sort of data analysis or something like that, I mean, this sort of thing, to say I was the 2025 Microsoft Excel World Champion, to me that means almost nothing. But to people in that field, I'm sure that is a huge deal.
Well, we had an Excel guy on my team, and whether it is Google Sheets or Excel, it does help to have that stuff organized. I do not know enough about Excel to set up, like you said, pivot tables and to have all these rows, do calculations and put together the formulas. I'm trying to figure it out. I don't want to. It is like a sector of knowledge that is a black hole of time and frustration. And to people who do have that skill, we'd probably hire you. That's for sure.
Yeah.
It's a very useful skill. All right, people. Well, there's some esports you can get into as the world collapses. You can get into Excel jockeying. So that's something.
Oh, man.
All right, one of your favorite films to actually, there's 2 films. The first 2 in this series that you like to pull clips from is Robocop and Robocop 2. You have many, many, many Robocop clips.
Oh, yeah.
Where's the bullets for this gun, man?
That is from Robocop 2. And you, of course, remember where Robocop was set.
Detroit.
In Detroit.
Yeah.
Well, Detroit has, they've a private group has put together funding to build an homage to Robocop.
Oh.
With a statue. So here you go.
Interesting. First look, the Robocop statue arrives in Detroit.
I bet you think you're pretty smart, huh?
Yeah, I can't believe I'm actually typing these words. Detroit officially has a 10-foot bronze Robocop watching over the Eastern Market. On Wednesday morning, he was brought out of his secret storage facility to Russell Street outside the studio of Free Age in Detroit. I don't know what any of that means. I'm not from Detroit. I have no idea.
Referring to local businesses, I think.
Yeah.
You a college boy or something? Huh?
By the afternoon, I had watched something that started off as a whimsical idea become reality. We're looking at this giant bronze statue of Robocop. It's quite stunning. It really is.
Very detailed as well.
Yeah, very detailed. Pretty inspiring, gotta say. Yeah.
What the fuck is that?
Once our boy got moving, nearly a decade and a half of work came together in less than an hour. And here it is. It's being positioned on it's platformed. I wonder if they use the actor's true likeness and if he could sue.
Peter Weller?
Peter Weller.
I don't know if he was involved in this or not.
Yeah. As a result, the amazing detail of the 10-foot bronze Robocop statue that will greet generations to come is being put down right there, sparked by a viral 2011 tweet comparing Detroit's need for a Robocop statue to Philadelphia's Rocky statue. the project grew through massive community collaboration. Well, I doubt the city of Detroit funded this thing. Then I want to be reminded that they have no policing. After a few possible homes and overcoming all kinds of obstacles, East Market ended up with it next to Free Age, a production and creative studio at 3434 Russell Street. Yeah, I'd love to have that. I mean, it's pretty cool. It's going to be a tourist attraction, of course. Yeah, here's a Marine being taken with a picture next to it. I mean, that thing is just huge. That is a massive statue there, Cratchit. I mean, shouldn't it be like more movie-like?
Yeah, it says it's 10 feet tall.
Massive.
So it's a bit oversized, but I guess that's part of the mystique.
Cast at Venus Bronze Works in Detroit, the same foundry responsible for iconic landmarks like the Spirit of Detroit and the Joe Louis Fist. The artisanship is stunning. Yeah, it is quite well done, no doubt about that. Okay, so who makes money from this? That's what I'm trying to see. It doesn't really wind up with any kind of conclusion. It's just a nice little fun tidbit of there you go. Detroit finally opening up its arms and embracing Robocop, and it's just a fun little piece of movie memorabilia there.
It says it was based on there was a Kickstarter campaign, raised $67,000 to pay for it, and this was several years ago. The mayor of Detroit, when asked about it at the time, I believe that was Dave Bing, said it seemed kind of silly, something we're going to do. And he said there are currently no plans to erect a statue of Robocop. Peter Weller did respond to that in a semi-farcical manner, but basically called that to be silly response, and so he's at least aware of it.
Yeah.
But this has been a thing ongoing for 15 plus years.
Yeah. Okay.
We'll defeat you and your goddamn robot.
It started in 2011, so 14 years.
You have 20 seconds to comply.
Yeah, I'm noticing there's not an Ed 201 statue out there.
209.
209. Yes, 209. Hold on a second. Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Terrifying, but pretty cool. Remember when he shot up everyone? It was like one of the most brutal scenes in cinema history.
Well, that was a hallmark of Paul Verhoeven's films, was over-the-top violence.
Yeah.
He also did Total Recall with similar violence. So
yeah.
Sure, it's only a glitch.
Interesting. If anybody listening is in Detroit, I'd like to see a picture of this. Yeah. If you can get a picture and post that up and tag me or Cratchit, that'd be great. So, all right, Chris, I think we have time for one more delightful story.
So I'll give you your choice. One more. We have another. This is that time of year. It's for the end of the year. So we have all these the of the year competitions or the of the year lists. And of course, a company, an organization with whom you are very familiar, Pantone, has selected its color of the year. So we have that story.
Wow.
We also have the list of the most mispronounced words, as we discussed before the show. And we also have a story from Russia that they're turning, and I'm going to read the headline here, stray dogs into Wi-Fi hotspots.
What's going on here?
I think I got to know what's going on there.
With the dogs? Okay.
Yeah, I think we got to know if they're just like attaching like wireless routers to these poor critters and setting them loose again.
Go on, boy, you're free.
There you go. Keep running. Like, hey, why does my Wi-Fi keep dipping and coming back? Seems like whenever I start eating like meat, the signal increases.
Yeah, I get better Wi-Fi when I'm sitting outside in the park. Those dogs around.
Yeah, it's weird. Let's see here. Yes. There's a Russian initiative turns stray dogs into Wi-Fi hotspots to keep people online during blackouts. Okay, that's a pretty crazy thing to do. But
these computers, I tell you, they just get crazier and crazier.
And what we're looking at here is a picture of a dog with some sort of container on its back, and it has some sort of like emblem, like it's a mobile wireless router. But how's this being powered? That's the thing.
By the way, if you notice that logo is actually it's that typical Wi-Fi, a radio wave logo with the three like curved lines over it, showing the radio waves emanating from your hotspot. But instead of it being a hotspot or an access point, it's a dog.
Yeah,
it's a dog making Wi-Fi.
A team of artists in Yekaterinburg. I think I got that Russian town correct, but they have found a novel.
We'll run with that one.
Yeah, Yekaterinburg has found a novel solution to Russia's mobile internet blackouts, outfitting stray dogs with Wi-Fi routers and letting them wander the city as walking hotspots. So it was my idea, like right off the bat. I was joking, but yeah, they're doing exactly that. Mm-hmm. So they're trying to create a giant mesh network of stray dogs. Okay. That's something. It is a unique idea. I will say that. I don't know if I like it, but it is a unique idea.
Okay.
The idea, they say, has two benefits: free internet for residents and much needed attention for the dogs who are available for adoption. I can adopt my own internet dog. That's great.
Comes with internet.
Yeah, it comes with internet. Animal welfare.
This dog is up to date with all its shots. It's good with kids. It's friendly to people, and it comes with internet.
Has this guy has the firmware been updated on this dog in a while, or am I going to have to do that? Oh.
What level of security does this dog support?
What's my dog's password? I can't log in.
Yeah. Can I send this dog back? I don't know the password to it.
Animal welfare workers aren't so sure. In conversations with the outlet, Taki Della, they called the project unethical, unsafe, and potentially dangerous for animals involved. Medusa shares the summary of Taki Day's reporting. So I guess a bunch of different people in Russia are talking is what we're getting out of here. So this is what they're saying. In the Russian city, Yekaterinburg, a new science art project called La-Fi or Bark-Fi
I think it's Li-Fi.
Li-Fi or Bark-Fi is turning stray dogs into Wi-Fi hotspots. The initiative is a collaboration between, I'm not going to say. So the team designed.
Half the reason I chose this article was because it has so many Russian words.
I didn't know that. So I'll read them. I'll try to be as accurate as I can. In a collaboration between the Stenographa Street Arts Festival and the artist collective of Hot Singles, the animal welfare organization Zoo Zashtike, and the local mobile art carrier Motive. The team designed a lightweight backpack fitted with a router that straps onto a dog's back, allowing it to provide internet access around the city even during blackouts. The dogs in question are also available for adoption through animal welfare workers, and Motive promises 1 year of free home internet to anyone who adopts a dog. But, okay, you adopt a dog, then you're taking that dog out of the streets and therefore, I guess, reducing the mesh Wi-Fi network. So they go on to say, our art science project aims to draw attention to stray dogs through the lens of collaboration, says Anna Kletz, who runs the Stenographia Festival. Now, Street Dogs is socialized and is doing something useful for society, providing fast, unlimited free internet. The organization insists that the custom backpacks don't hinder the dog's movement or disrupt their natural body temperature. In winter, they say, the gear even provides warmth. The electronic components are arranged to distribute weight evenly so each dog can move normally. On average, each pack weighs roughly about 1 pound. I don't know. I'm looking at this thing. A dog ain't going to want to wear this thing. It looks like it's
going to get 30 feet away and start doing the dog shake thing.
Yeah.
And it's going to get right out of it.
They're not going to be happy with this. They might get used to it, but the dog's not going to like this one bit. No. Well, I wonder if I can get one of these. They could sell these things. They have diagrams and everything. And on this diagram, I can't tell if the dog is emitting Wi-Fi or if it's barking. I don't know.
I think it's both.
it emits Wi-Fi as it barks. Okay.
It says, by the way, there the Wi-Fi supports 10 gigabit a second.
That's crazy. That's
some fast Wi-Fi.
It's getting better Wi-Fi than I got here. That's for sure. Look at my Streamlabs. It's not working very well. Animal welfare groups warn that the Li-Fi or dog-fi could not only be unethical but dangerous. Carrying an unfamiliar device and attracting increased attention from passerbys can be deeply stressful for a dog themselves. And the stress increases the risk that can even a normally calm dog, socialized dog, might react aggressively, in which case that would be the animal, not the humans, would hold a responsibility. So as people try to connect to Wi-Fi, because sometimes you got to move your router around, like people will be picking up the dogs, moving them in different areas. You're holding your phone closer to the dogs might attack you, which we don't.
But if the dogs are attacking you, that means they're getting closer.
That is true.
It means they're improving your connectivity, which means when you call the authorities for help, they will hear you better.
In order for me to dominate the internets in Russia, I would line my apartment or home with doggy treats. And then all the internet would come right to me. I would be hoarding all the internet. And then I would have this army of internet dogs. And they'd be coming to me as I give them treats. And people would have to come to me for internet. Then I'd be the one to control. I'm sure people are thinking about this.
Well, they do have a comment there. They're afraid people might steal the equipment off the dogs. They might abuse the dogs. They might, basically dog nap the dogs to get the stuff to sell it or something. So
those are all very concerning problems.
But I think the idea here is, at least initially, it's done as part of a pilot, as part of the street art festival. So during this street festival, there will be dogs wandering around providing Wi-Fi.
Yep. Oh boy, people, that's it for me. Yeah, I'm detecting some weird noise right there.
Yeah, I'm hearing that. As soon as you started the outro music, it started.
It's like this clicking noise, isn't it? I wonder where that's coming from. Let me see if
if you pause that, just pause it.
Right there. Yeah, it's
right there.
Yeah, it's coming from the. I think it's. It can't be
it's USB.
That's USB problem.
I think that's USB. It sounds like it's a flutter in the signal.
A flutter in the signal.
Because when you pause that application, it stops.
Interesting. That is very interesting. Okay. Well,
something else for you to troubleshoot with your fully rebuilt system.
Yeah, that's going to be fun. I wonder why that is. Yeah, that's kind of like, so that flutter. It didn't happen in the last episode. This is going through QuickTime, and I wonder why QuickTime is performing like that now. But oh well, that is weird. But until then, go to obdmpod.com or ourbigdumbmouth.com. There's no flutter going on there, not that we know of. And you can subscribe to Patreon for as little as $1 a month. And I'm updating the content there soon for all the $5 a month, $3 a month people. More episodes for old school OBDM people. If you want to listen to the old shows, they're coming out there. And the Discord be in there later. As I wake up early in the morning at 2 a.m. sometimes, 3 a.m., I'll post in there and say, hey, I'm here. I'm in a battle meditation, getting ready for the show. Like today, I woke up at 2 a.m. I don't know why, but I did. Actually, I do know why. I blame my dog. My dog woke me up.
Because the Wi-Fi went down?
Maybe. Yeah.
Maybe. Do you need any Wi-Fi dogs at your house? Would that be better?
It might. My Wi-Fi tends to reboot itself every morning, like at 4 a.m. But I don't like that. So maybe a Wi-Fi dog backpack would be better. We'll find out.
We could send some over to Streamlabs. Maybe they could use it.
They need it more than I do. Thank you, Cretchen. Thank you, everyone. Shablagoo.
Keep watching the skis, because soon there'll be Wi-Fi enabled pigeons.
I know. This is already interesting. You become with the ball.
It's funny.
I'm sure it's all.
Very weird. Power by 20%.
North End.
That's about all.
Shablagu. Sit, Ubu, sit. Good dog.
Till next time, take care of yourself and each other.
Until next week. Nanu. Nanu.
Sparkle Shine story time.